with Extenics channel. It is the last class 15. I'm continuing to introduce the Extenics. I'm always use my new book, Extenics Knowledge of Innovation. It is a step-by-step use the short article to introduce the whole theory. Every time I will repeat once again what is Extenics. Extension theory, extension innovation method, and extension engineering forms a new science named Extenics. It is an original Chinese new science discipline which studies the possibility of extending things, rules, and methodology of developing innovation with formalized patterns for resolving contradictory problems. We always talk about the nature of innovation is started from solving contradictions. Now it is the last class. I'm go overview the content in the beginning where I introduce the basic theory of extended set, etc., matter element, function element, affair element, and relations element. And then we introduce the fourth step of extension innovation method through the modeling. Extension have separate two. One is extension analysis, another is a conjunction analysis. Transformation also separate into two. One is the basic extension transformation, and then is a transformation of operation method. And the last one we call it the selection. Selection to find the best one, superiority method. So in this superiority evaluation method, after the first 3 steps or 4 step extension method, namely modeling, extension, and transformation, many innovative ideas have been generated. It is time to enter the last step, or called selection. Use superiority evaluation method to consider the feasibility and superiority of those ideas. First of all, we must determine the measurement indicators. Different products have their own unique requirements and different measurement indicators generated. There are 4 major principles of that evaluation, including purpose, comprehensiveness, feasibility, and stability. Another 3 requirements include technology, economic, and social environment. When we set this measuring indicator, we need to consider 4 principles and 3 requirements. Use the product idea as an example. The first step for superiority evaluation method, it is to define the measure indicators. It's a novelty, practicality, cost, and safety. The second step is to consider indispensable indicator. It means you must fulfill it, otherwise we cannot go ahead. That is usually is the safety of the product. The first step is determine the degree to which the measurement indicators within the requirement, which can be quantitative calculated with their dependent function. The first step is to add rating in each indicator, because different indicators have a different rating on the product. The last step is to calculate the degree of superiority by the sum of the product dependent function with its rating. So we expand more about the dependent function. Simple dependent function and discrete dependent function are 2 most commonly used, even though in the extension they have many different functions, but it is more complicated. If measuring by quality only, discrete dependent function will be more easy to use. For example, you can see this dependent function calculated. We can set 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2 represent the excellent, good, medium, general, and poor. So it is very easy for qualitative measurement. Simple dependent function is more complicate. Use this formula at the behind. For example, we use the number of hours of the quality innovation engineering course as an example, and the limit of the period of this training course is from 13.6 hours to 14.2 hours of the whole course. And then we find the middle point, 39 hours is the best form. Use simple dependent function to calculate the Kx is a dependent function value under different course hours to compare. And then in the next diagram we show in the image, it's more clear to see this calculation. For example, it is the line minimum is 13.6 hours, maximum is 24 hours in the middle. If your hour of the training course design below the middle point, use the top, this area, this equation. If it is larger middle point, use the behind this equation. You can find that if exactly designed for 13 hours in the middle point, the key value is the top is the 1, and then we reduce. If we have the boundary, the k is equal to 0. However, if you are out of the range, the dependent function shows it is a negative mile of the quantitative. For example, like -1, -2. So it depends on all different ideas, calculated different dependent function, and summing up with the rating, we can select the superiority of the desired course hour. Okay. At the end, I would like to use Professor Troyman's photo as the conclusion. Let us establish this original Chinese discipline together, based on extended to achieve culture of innovation. Thank you for your attention. Bye.